The Gabby Petito case has ignited new interest in unsolved cases around the country.
There are thousands of missing persons cases that receive hardly any of the level of interest or media attention we've seen in this case. And many of those cases involve people of color. Joining us live to dig into what many are calling missing white woman syndrome and how we're seeing it play out on national TV right now are the hosts of our True Crime Tuesdays and the podcast Murder in the Rain, Emily Rowney and Alicia Holland. Good morning. Thank you both for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
So first, before we kind of get into this missing white woman syndrome, I want to ask, why do you think the public is so fascinated by the Gabby Petito case? Why have we seen this really just get so huge and get so much attention?
Well, I actually think there are three components to that. I think number one, it was a distraction. It wasn't a story that was about COVID. It wasn't a story about politics. It was something that you could take an interest in that was different. I think a lot of people are still home. You're either working from home or maybe you're out of work or you're with the kids. And when you're not in the office, you're able to check those news updates a lot more often. So when they're happening in real time, you're able to, check the computer and check your phone. And the other part just being interest. I think if you look at the population of Portland especially, we are predominantly white and people like to see things that they relate to. And in this case, it's what's considered a cute, young, blonde, white girl.
This isn't new, though. We have seen this in the past with Natalie Holloway and Maura Murray. We get enthralled with these cases where there's so much mystery. There are twists and turns and lots of suspects, and people just kind of want to be armchair detectives. Why it's such a huge thing now is we all have platforms. We have TikTok, we have YouTube. It makes it very easy for anyone to just hop online and start talking about theory.
Yeah, you're right in that this is not the first time that we've been talking about so-called missing white women syndrome. I seem to remember we had this discussion, Lacey Peterson in the early 2000s, same kind of thing. So why is it that it seems like it's this particular type of woman that gets all the attention when there are many, many others, especially women of color, who fall into the same kind of category in terms of the specifics of the case itself?
I think that's where racism comes in, frankly. You're right. Lacey Peterson, if you look at all the cases that still hold attention, from JonBenet Ramsey to, like you said, Lacey Peterson. And I think if you go back, it's the value in life. And so we've all, with the murder of George Floyd, we all started looking at life through these systemic racism lenses and started saying, okay, what parts in my life have racism in it that I didn't realize was there? And I think this is one of those moments where realizing like, oh, we really are placing so much value on white women's lives, which isn't to remove value from it. I think people get confused that talking about this is taking away from Gabby, and hers is a separate story. And I think we're realizing, when you have groups of Indigenous people that are saying, hey, 710 women have gone missing here and we've never heard their names, you're realizing our balance of value of life is really off.
Yeah, it is certainly something to look at. Emily, real quick before we run out of time, I did want to ask you, I think the other layer in this case too is the fact that it's happening now in a world where we have TikTok and Instagram and these social media platforms that we didn't necessarily have in some of these previous cases. And not only is so much of Gabby Petito's life on these platforms because she was, a bit of an influencer, but we also have the true crime community who's on these platforms now. How is that changing the way we're looking at some of these cases, almost in this moment by moment internet sleuths, mining for clues? We're seeing a lot of that we haven't necessarily seen before.
Well, everyone is so much more accessible, and I think it's good and bad. Having TikTok and YouTube gives more accessibility to us to share stories of people who may not be seen on the mainstream media, but it also opens the door for anyone to come in and talk about a case. True crime community, we have this unspoken rule that we're there to talk facts and to share a story, not to sit and encourage theories that have no foundation. So it has been a very odd couple of weeks because we've seen some people divert from that and start talking about theory and spreading misinformation. And anybody can. It's not necessarily the True Crime Committee. We see everyone on TikTok talking about Gabby Petito.
Yeah, interesting discussion. I wish we could talk more about it. We could definitely fill some more time talking about these issues. But thank you, Emily Rowney and Alicia Holland, hosts of the podcast Murder in the Rain. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And for more from Murder in the Rain, follow them on social media, listen to their investigations wherever you stream your podcasts, and tune in to AM Extra every Tuesday morning for True Crime Tuesdays.